Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tony Delaney, and I'm the Clinical Case Manager with the Office of Student Support. This afternoon, we have a special guest from the Career and Internship Center, and this will be our final video in the Student Support Zoom video series. And I would like to introduce our special guest.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lakeisha Matthews. I'm the director of the Career and Internship Center at the University of Baltimore, and I just want to thank Tony and the Office of Student Support for having us today.
And thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule and doing this remotely and working with us and being so flexible. Really do appreciate it. So I wanted to start off today's video just kind of asking some general questions of if there's any information or some things that you'd want to share about the Career Center right now.
Sure. We're very happy that pretty much 90%, if not 95% of our services have been transitioned online. So everything pretty much that was offered on campus, students can still access. That includes our career coaching, which is being conducted on Zoom. We're also going into the classroom. So some students may have seen us as we have zoomed into their classrooms. All of our online resources, including UB Works, obviously are still available. And we're even happy to announce that we're working with the Maryland Career Consortium to offer a virtual career fair in June.
Oh, wow. That is a lot. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Is there any resources you think right now that may be especially important to students as they're working through, maybe for our graduating seniors? I know that this job market is going to be a difficult one making that transition. Do you have any recommendations or advice on that?
Sure. I wouldn't say that there's one specific resource. I think that anyone who is job searching or internship searching right now needs to exhaust all of their resources. But I would say a couple of places to start would definitely be their career specialist and scheduling an appointment. We have been keeping track of which industries are impacted, which companies are hiring, and we can work with each student individually on their job search plan. I would also say reaching out to faculty and your deans because they know what's going on in their industry as well. They're connected to alumni and virtually networking virtually, such as on LinkedIn.
Okay. Do you have any advice for any of the graduating seniors? I know you said reach out to their career specialist, but do you have any additional advice with regards to how long they can access the services of the Career Center after graduation?
Absolutely. Great question. We've actually been calling all the seniors that are graduating in this month, actually, May, because May is here. And we're hearing a lot of folks say that they are postponing their job search. But for anyone who is not postponing, I would probably say some things that they can anticipate is slower response rates. They can anticipate virtual interviews. So I think it's very important to get help with their career specialist to navigate this environment. It's not going to be an easy environment at all. But I also like to remind students that this is not the first time we've had hard economic times in our country. I was in career services back in 2008, and we saw a lot of the same things. Of course, it's on a different scale right now because it's health related, but it's hard. But I think it's also good to know, okay, the country has been through things like this before, and people get through them, and there are companies still hiring, and you should not delay your career goals and plans. You should just expect that it might be tougher. But if you're part of the UB community, I believe all of our students are already tough because I think that characterizes who we are as a community.
That's wonderful. Based off of your experience back from 2008, what would be the number one or the top three pieces of advice you could give students right now?
Great question. I think the first is to know that you need a short and long-term plan. For some people, you may need to work now. You know, you may need to work a job that's not related to your career now so you can help your family, so you can pay your mortgage, buy food, things like that. But you should still focus on your long-term plans because things will recover. I've been on several webinars with employers, and what they're saying is if your internship is postponed, or if your career plans have to be postponed, you should still be gaining experience or developing yourself professionally. So I think that it's very important not to take this as a time just to sit home because you're on unemployment or because you're working virtually. This is still a time to plan, but know that your plans may be short-term and long-term. I think the second thing is to understand that you do need to be adaptable and recognize that employers are trying to figure this out too. So, the hiring process is probably going to be longer. Feedback is going to take longer to get to you. You're going to be interviewing virtually. And then I think that would be my third thing, is just that expect to use technology. I think people who know how to use technology and don't fight it and use it effectively, such as LinkedIn, such as using your personal social media to keep people up to date on your job search and your career, those are the people who are going to pick up on opportunities faster, because the kicker is once things start to progress, then things are going to open back up, and you want to be ready. And I'm hearing a lot of students saying, oh, I'm going to wait. I'm not going to take classes in the fall. This is a major no-no. These are just hard times. Countries go through hard times every now and then, and we're all in it together. And what we shouldn't do is stop our momentum of our career goals, because we need to be ready when our country needs us to step back into the workforce.
Thank you. Thank you. That is a lot of really helpful advice, and a really nice perspective to have too for those who are entering something like this for the first time. What would you recommend for individuals who may experience long-term unemployment? I know we kind of touched a little bit on that on your previous answer, but for those individuals who are doing those professional development pieces and they're going through the interview process a later time, having a large gap between two jobs, what would you recommend for them?
Absolutely. I think the first, anyone who's eligible for any sort of unemployment benefits should make sure that they're applying for them. I know it's rough right now. I watch the governor's updates, and that process is not as smooth as it could be. But the good news is, if you're eligible and once you get unemployment, they do backdate it. So you will have money coming to you. I think the second thing is learn about all of the CARES Act and all of the scholarships and grant monies that are going to be available, particularly for students who want to continue their education or need help buying technology or what have you. Number three, don't be ashamed to take advantage of any community resources. My daughter's school is still giving out free lunches. I think sometimes they even give out free dinners. If you need those things, just because you may not have needed them in the past, don't be ashamed. When we're going through hard times, it can happen to any of us. So I think that, go out there, find where you can get free meals, sign up for programs that can help you and your family out. I think from there, what we normally tell folks, once your basic needs are taken care of, you need a plan A and a plan B. And I might be planning to become an accountant or a counselor, but right now I just need to earn some money. So look at the places that are hiring. We've been sending out blogs about that. You can refer to your career communications. Most of your big box retailers are hiring. Most of your grocery stores are hiring. Most of your ride share is still going on. There are a lot of places still hiring. Obviously, you need to protect your health and make sure you feel safe and secure in those environments. But this is one of those times in our country where we have to hunker down, set our egos aside, and do what we need to do. And I think employers are saying, when things get back to our new normal, they want to see that you've been doing something. And I think it's powerful, whether your story is, I had to go work at Target to take care of my family, or what about I sat at home and sold face masks? It doesn't matter what it is, but they want to see that you've been doing things and putting your talent and your learning into action.
And that is really helpful advice. I know that's been a big fear for a lot of students and a lot of people in general, is what do you do when you have those large gaps? And that's really helpful advice for that. So let me ask you this. I know that we have a couple different online resources. As you said, your office is available. Where would you want students to access the information and the resources provided by your office?
All right, so there's a lot, and I know there's so much going out to students right now, but I think the base for the Career Center is UB Works. So students can get to UB Works through their My UB portal. On UB Works, you can do a couple of things. A, you can schedule one of those Zoom sessions with a career specialist. B, next week we're launching a chat feature, because we used to have drop-in hours in our office. So now you'll just be able to drop in on Wednesdays just virtually and ask any kind of question that you need Wednesdays between 3 and 5. Also, if you're registered in UB Works, you will get Monday motivations from the Career Center specialist. So whoever your career specialist is, business, public affairs, or arts and sciences. And we're sending out all kinds of things: how to register for unemployment, who's hiring right now, how to develop yourself professionally if you're not going to continue your job search, virtual internship. So if you're not registered in UBWorks, you're not getting all of that information. So it's extremely important that you be registered. And then the last thing is on our website, we also list any events as well as we have a list of online resources. So if someone's just saying, you know what, I'm home, I have nowhere to go, our website is so robust, you can start working on your resume, your cover letter, any of those documents, professional documents that you need. So I would really encourage students to take a look at our website and to make sure that they're on UBWorks.
Okay. And for general office access, will your hours be changing as we make the transition to the summer session?
We talked about this as a team, and no, we're not going to slow down. We've actually, we're up to almost our normal capacity as far as our coaches having 3 to 4 coaching sessions per day with students. So we decided this year, we normally slow down in the summer. We're not going to slow down this summer. So you can still meet with your career specialist on Zoom. We're actually thinking about doing some movie nights where we're going to watch career related movies just to get us thinking about our careers, but in a fun way. And we're also going to be offering a special strength certificate program for students who would like to take the time to do some professional development. So nothing is slowing down in our office for the summer. Hours are still the same. And again, the scheduling is all in UBWorks. That's the best place to go to figure out when we're open and when the team is available.
Ah, that's perfect. That's great. So let me ask you another thing. If students needed additional resources, because I know the Career Center had at some point a career closet to help support students in need if they needed that first suit or some professional attire for their internship or interview. I know things are a little bit different as the campuses had to close down in response to the COVID-19, but where would you recommend students go or look to access similar resources in the community?
Actually, on Monday, we have a Monday Motivation coming out that talks about where you can find professional attire at decent rates. So we realize and we asked ourselves a question, we can't access the career closet right now, but how can we still give students that sort of information for their own safety? So the good news is many retailers are still doing online retail. So you can definitely shop. Hopefully, you know your size, and you can get things in the mail. So Bianca Tablata, who's our graduate assistant who oversees the Career Closet, has written this wonderful article about different places to shop and find professional attire, and that is coming out on Monday. So again, if students are registered in UBWorks, they will get that Monday motivation, and it's really good. I actually read it today. We also asked ourselves about the LinkedIn photo shoot. That is a very popular program that we have that is always well attended, but we can't do that because we're not on campus. So our graduate assistant for marketing, Brittany Crane, is doing a wonderful partnership with Bianca and writing an article about DIY headshots, doing how to do it yourself and create a really good headshot at home with the right lighting and all of that. So those things will be coming out over the next month. So it's important for students to tune in to those Monday motivations so that they can get those tips and whatnot. Very, very, very important.
So it sounds like UBWorks is definitely the number one thing you want to be a part of right now.
Absolutely. That is the career hub for our students.
So for those at home watching the video, the link to the UBWorks website will be in the comment section below. And as always, you can always directly contact the Career Center by looking them up on the website as well. So let me ask you this, as we'll change gears a little bit. In general, everyone's working from home. They're making adjustments. Some people have families at home. Some are working at limited spotty internet and different technology challenges. For you personally, what has been the biggest challenge for working remotely?
Sure. That's a great question. And I think I feel very divided about it because even though there are challenges, I feel very blessed right now. I have my family with me. Everyone is healthy. But I do have an 8-year-old and she is in school. And she's in school online, which is obviously a big change from going into school every day. So I'm balancing out my own work and managing a team virtually while helping her and keeping her on track with her learning. It is challenging and it's exhausting, but it's important. And the same things I said to students earlier about hard times, you know, hard times just cause for extra effort. So we're just putting in the extra effort and trying to be very patient with each other and trying to use tools, calendars, and communication tools in the house for that. I think number two is just well-being. It's okay. When I'm feeling anxious, I acknowledge that. When I'm feeling fearful, I acknowledge that. For me, I'm a person of faith, so I'm still doing things like reading my daily devotion and praying and listening to spiritual music, which is very important to me, being healthy, staying emotionally healthy during this time, and then also exercising to be physically healthy and getting myself and my family outside. And then I would say the last thing is just trying to maintain healthy eating habits. I think that it is very challenging not to just go to the refrigerator and eat. I am a stress eater. I will admit it. I love to graze. I love my snacks. But still staying on an eating plan right now, I think is very important in maintaining those healthy habits of the spiritual ones, the mental ones, as well as the physical ones. And I would say the last thing was really working with my team in a virtual environment. I know some of our students are working. Some of them are working virtually, and some of them are going into the office. And I think for any of us, this has been a true transition, and it has caused for great adaptability. But the good news is adaptability is a great career readiness skill. So I think all of us are really going to be very powerful when we get to our new normal, and we're going to have different creative and innovative ways to do life and to do business.
So I guess that kind of leads me into the next section, which is on all the, it sounds like you're doing a lot of different holistic ways of maintaining your center, staying grounded. Within that, everybody has a guilty pleasure as part of their kind of self-care regime, right? So what would you say your favorite or your current quarantine guilty pleasure is right now?
It's so embarrassing. Mine's really right now is ordering stuff off of Amazon. I will be honest with you. My husband told me I'm out of control. I'm ordering all kinds of stuff. I don't care if it's a new toothpaste, toothbrush. I even ordered plants. I do container gardening, and I ordered plants on Amazon. Who knew that Amazon could deliver plants? But in my home right now, we get very excited when the Amazon truck pulls up. And everybody's like trying to figure out, are they coming to our house or someone else's house? So it's crazy. It's very strange and weird. But right now, that is probably my biggest guilty pleasure. I am getting boxes almost every day. But on the flip side, I'm getting to do things around my house that I've been putting off, because I have been so busy. So that's nice as well. And I would say another guilty pleasure, when you find a good show, just binge watching that show, just sitting down and fully enjoying that in the moment, which is something I didn't get to do when things were normal either, because I would always be so busy.
That sounds a lot of boxes, huh? That's awesome. But I'm so happy that that's something that you've been finding joy in, and it's been, recharging for you, rejuvenating, and it's something that the whole house can kind of join together in excitement. It's like every day is Christmas almost.
Yes.
Yes. So let me ask you this. If you had to share one piece of really good news with those watching this video at home, what would be that piece of good news?
I think I would share that I've lived through 2008 when I was in services before, and I watched people literally have jobs rescinded. Companies say, sorry, we're taking back that offer. I saw alums lose their jobs. I saw people come in the office crying. And I think the good news is that this too shall pass. It's going to be hard. We will have a new normal, but it will pass. And there will be joy again. There will be laughter again. There will be good jobs, and there will be good work out there to do. And I think that this is just a character building time in all of our lives and in the lives of our communities in our country. So that would really be my good news. You don't have to stop everything right now. Even though we are unsure about tomorrow, in the long run, this will turn around.
And that is a beautiful way of looking at this and having that perspective. And that is true. Everything does pass. So let me ask you this, and speaking about inspiration and keeping things moving forward, what inspires you to do the work that you do? Because you and your office do an amazing job of supporting our students and our alumni. So what is it that inspires you?
Sure, thank you. Great question. I think the first thing that just inspires me are students. I'm a career student affairs professional. I left college and then went to work at another college because I'm very inspired by the learning environment. I'm very inspired by the pursuit of knowledge and the pursuit to become better. And it is such a pleasure to watch students go through that process and to just support them in this moment of transitioning from education to employment. And I've been doing this for a long time. And still, when I hear students say, I got the interview or I got the job, it still makes me very happy today, as it did 10, 15 years ago. Something else that really inspires me about the University of Baltimore is that I'm a Baltimore native. My family is from Baltimore. I believe in Baltimore. Yes, there are some things that aren't so great about Baltimore, but there are also a whole bunch of things that are so great about Baltimore. And it means so much to me to be in an institution that is a cornerstone of the city that can help develop the talent and place talent in the companies in the city to support students in the city. So that means an awful lot to me. And then what inspires me really is not just serving our students, but man, our students are awesome. You know, they have so much grit and resiliency. I really just like watching them and they inspire me. So not only do I just love what I do in career services and higher ed, but there's just something about the University of Baltimore that really just speaks to me and sort of my life and the struggles that I have had. So every day I show up for that and I'm committed to that and I take it serious. The need to help someone move their life forward, that social mobility part of what we do.
So before we end today, I know you've gone on, over a lot of things that your office is doing, and you guys have your hands full based off of everything that has been shared in today's video. Is there one piece of exciting news that we didn't go over that you want to share with everyone at home today?
Sure. I think that the upcoming Strengths Professional Development Certificate program is going to be awesome for the summer. Most likely, most of us will still be home for the summer. And it's not a time to sit around and do nothing. We should enjoy ourselves. We should relax, especially if we can't get to the beach. I'm still going to take my lawn chairs out and my beach chairs out and sit right outside. But I think also think about how you can grow over the summer. And this strengths program is going to be one of those ways. So information will be coming out about that in the next 2 weeks. So I highly encourage students to still check the Daily Digest or their email so they can learn about it. It's going to be about a 2-3 step process to learn about your strengths, to learn how to incorporate your strengths into your resume, into the interviewing process. So I can't wait for, we actually already have students who got a whiff of it as we've been promoting it and have already asked, can they sign up for it? So we're kind of capping it at about maybe 25 students or so. So I would say look out for that. And if students are really interested, they should go ahead and reach out to the Career Center at ubalt.edu and see if they can sign up.
Great, that sounds perfect. So as a reminder, everybody watching at home, you've heard a lot of information over the last several minutes. I know it's a lot. I know it may be hard to remember. You can hit rewind on this video or you can register at UB Works. And the link again, as a reminder, will be below in the comments section. So be sure to register yourselves with that, get access to all of this helpful information and resources and support and services. And again, I want to thank you on behalf of the Office of Student Support for coming out today. Well, coming out today and answering these questions and sharing this information. Is there anything else you want to share with the UB community and those watching at home?
No, just that we are staying apart to stay together, and one day soon we will be back together.
Thank you so much. Well, have a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you. Thank you, everybody watching at home, and have a good day.